Hi, everybody. It's Mark Rushton of markrushton.com. This is Realtor Recon for artist number 14. It's titled $99,000 for a storefront and mobile home in Maquoketa, Iowa, plus a little bit of information about the Iowa Historical Aerial Photo Project, something that I have been aware of for many, many years on the internet, and it's fun to use. And I never even thought about using it in the terms of Realtor Recon, but I'll show you how to access some of the data. There's a variety of different data, and I'll kind of go through that here after we get through the property. So what is Realtor Recon for artists? Well, someday I'd like to have a studio workspace outside of my house. It could be a separate home. It could be a rented or purchased commercial location. It could be an outbuilding on an acreage. I just don't know. This could be way in the future. It could be in a big town. It could be in a small town. I'm currently in Iowa, so most of the properties I feature will be located in Iowa in this series. Now, I contend that artists, such as musicians, painters, writers, etc., should not live in expensive big cities or expensive areas if they can help it. If they have a bit of income coming in from their work, they should consider moving somewhere cheap in the sticks and owning property rather than renting. It would give you time to focus on your work and building your career. And I think that using realty websites is a great way to do some advanced reconnaissance. And that's what I do here with the Realtor Recon series. So this one is 703 South Main Street in Maquoketa, Iowa. It's featured on the Iowa Realty commercial website. And they spoil us. The Iowa Realty commercial website just spoils us here with these photos, which are nothing. They're from like 4 years ago. And oh my gosh, look. They're also out there on Beacon Schneider. So they didn't even take any. They just took photos off Beacon Schneider. Oh, that's lazy. I rib them a little bit. Yeah, you should. You should. They don't really kind of go the extra mile here with regard to these properties. You should get a little bit better idea of what possibly you're getting into. You don't have to have 50 photos, but a few original things from the modern era here that would be nice. But we're looking at the nails here. This is obviously a nail shop or a salon of some kind. Previously, this was Spain Oil Company, so it was a gas station and a convenience store. There are articles out there from the past of it being robbed and other, selling beer to minors and stuff like that. But at some point, I think it was a few years ago, this was turned into a nail salon. And I don't know whether or not the gas tanks were removed or not. That's one of the things that, if you buy this sort of a property, you have to be concerned about whether or not the tanks are there or not, if they were removed properly, right? And not just the gas tanks, but, back in the day, particularly in small rural communities, there would be other things that they would sell, kerosene, weird types of petroleum products out back. Sometimes they had a tank above ground, sometimes they had a tank below ground. You just kind of have to be concerned about that sort of stuff by buying this property. So it's more than just a title search. It's you would want to hire a lawyer in that town. So let's take a look here at what we got. We got a commercial building, then we also have a mobile home that's on the property as well. So we'll go through these photos here. This thing has, let me see if we have the square footage here. It says 1,120 total finished square feet. I don't think that's necessarily the workspace. And the reason why is because we go out to Beacon Schneider on here. It talks about the commercial building. It says 480 square feet, built 1959, and then it looks like there was an addition in 1998 of 360 square feet. So that is 840 square feet, which is a little different than 1120. My guess is that the mobile home is probably 1120. I'm not sure. Anyway, so already right off the bat, you get like way too many questions. But this payment here, $99,000 for the property, that's pretty good. You get a storefront there. You have a dwelling. It may be a mobile home, but it is a dwelling. You could live there. You could have this be a storefront or your shop, whatever. And The payment on it is $429 a month. The taxes would probably be about an additional $150 a month. Just looking at what the recent taxes were here on Beacon Schneider. Yeah, somehow they got that total assessed value significantly lowered there. I wonder why. Well, let's take a look here. Let's go back into the photos. So we have the property here. And as you can see, there is a mobile home on the property here, a manufactured residence. And it's got a little bit of like a carport right here. This does look like it's, does that look like a double wide? I don't think it is. I think it's a single wide, but it's a long one there. And then you get just the truck there is obscuring that. So it's like a single wide mobile home. Now, here's the other thing that is in here, which confused me at first. But then there's this here. Here is this other sort of carport here. And then what looks like back there, an additional slab. So my guess is at one point in time, there were two mobile homes on this particular property. And that's what you got going on here. Doesn't say that anywhere, but that's my guess anyway. So let's get out of this. Let's go into the Google map here and take a look at it from above. It's on South Main Street in Maquoketa, which is a Highway 61 business, which I think used to be the old Highway 61. Right behind it is a cemetery, so that's good. And Dairy Queen right next door. Go down and take a look here at the street view. There's the property back there with the mobile home and the truck there in the carport. Let's take a look here next door. What do we got? Yeah, there's another carport there. Yeah, my guess is that there were probably two mobile homes back there, which is, that's a good extra income stream here. What do we got over here next door? Let's take a look. It's a chiropractic office. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And what's down the street here? Anything else going on here? Chiropractor club. Yeah, it looks perfectly. Just driving down the the business side of everything here. But yeah, there's no way to really tell whether or not the tanks are out. Of course, then again, this part up here looks like it's gravel. So the tanks might have been located up in here, maybe back in here. Maybe they might have been removed and then just gravel was put over them. But again, you would have to know that from the abstract, probably, is my guess. But that's let's get right up here. Get a side view of the business there. It's got a little shop on the back. Not bad for a particular kind of studio, art studio, recording studio. It wouldn't be bad. Wouldn't be for me though, but because I'm not in Maquoketa. But that's actually not bad for a little shop here. All right, and then you got Beacon Schneider here, and that gives a little bit of information here. The residential dwelling, yes, 1975 mobile home, 1,120 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath. That's what you got. And it used to be Spain Oil. And you've got all the other information here. Now, here's the thing that I was kind of interested in with this particular property was looking at past, because it was built in 1959 and it had the mobile homes added to it at least by 1975. How can you check that, right? And so one way to do that is in Iowa, they have the historical aerial photos, which I have looked at for many, many years. It's really fascinating. It's like where I grew up, other places I've lived. What did it look like? They go as far back as 1936. And then they've done it in the decades since. So there are a couple of different servers down here on this website. Talks about the historical photo interactive mapping site. the GIS library. And what I'm using is the Iowa State's GIS Ortho server. Now this link here has a period at the end of it. And so it was giving off bad information. You take that period off the end and you're able to go out to the site here. And there's a lot of stuff that you can do here. And the great thing now is that they have added the ability to add an address in here. So I put the address of the property in here. However, it directed me a couple miles south of town, so it's not completely accurate. So I was able to reposition myself to where 703 South Main in Maquoketa really is, which would be, I think it would be right here. I think this is the Dairy Queen, and I think this is the chiropractic building right here. And of course, we have the cemetery behind it. And I'm looking at the 1970s aerial photos. I think they go a little bit closer in, but as you can see, they don't get any clear. See that? You have no idea. And it looks like there was something back here, but you can't tell what it is. Let's go to the 1960s here. This is even worse. Yeah, you can't tell anything. Let's go all the way back to the 1930s. That's fun. It's really, this is fascinating because if you look around Iowa in the 1930s and you compare it to today, there are so many more trees today than there were in the 1930s. It is amazing. People always talk about, oh, cutting down trees and all that. Oh, you should go take a look around your neighborhood in the 1930s and compare it to today. There's a lot more trees, except if you live in Cedar Rapids in Iowa and Marion, Iowa, where all the trees blew over in the windstorm. So let's go out to 1930s. There you go. I think they had the cemetery here, and there was nothing else along the roadway. So since the 1930s, there has been additional commercial and residential develop on this south end of Maquoketa. And then you've got these things here like this 1870. It gets really old and weird. Yeah, okay. So let's go here a little bit newer. Let's go with the 1980s infrared. And yeah, what I see along here is I see that the little gas station here, the Dairy Queen here, and it looks like there was there's tree cover here, but it looks like there was something behind that was situated parallel to the roadway. There was something in there at one time. There must have been two mobile homes. Let's see if we can get anything clear. 1990s, it's not any better. All right, let's go a little newer. Let's try the infrared of 2002. Are we getting into, no, we're still not in HD territory there. Can't tell anything. Get the ortho photos. 2010. That's kind of fascinating. Okay, so here what you've got is let's go down to the gas station here. So you get the Dairy Queen here, the gas station here, you have a mobile home here, and you have another mobile home right here. And this one is perpendicular to the roadway there. It's parallel to the other mobile homes. Yeah, it's pretty obvious here. There were two mobile homes back there at one point in time. And at some period of time, it still looks like there were two there. They must have taken that second mobile home. Yeah, it seems to be gone there. All you have is the the carport, and then you have, it's clearly an empty pad back here. So it looks like when the property was sold, I'm going to guess in 2016 here. Yes, that other mobile home was removed. So that's an interesting way to kind of do a little, again, some additional research, some reconnaissance, some looking up facts from the, from well, facts, just uh, being able to look at things in the past. It's totally fascinating. This is an alternate site here, and there's like the geographic map server, and then they have the aerial map. And so on this one, you can only get it. It's only so good. Let me move me out of the way here so I can kind of zoom in on this. And this is the 1950s, as we saw with the other one. And this one, for some reason, I can only get to this level here, which is probably the best quality at that height or whatever, as opposed to here, where if we go into the 1950s, let's go to the aerial 50s. This will take a second to update here. It's faster than it used to be. I mean, I remember looking at this like over a decade ago, and it just crawled. It just crawled. Let's see here. This isn't right here. Why is this? Oh, I have to uncheck this one. And there we go. There's the 1950s. Yeah, it's not really any better there. So anyway, so there you go. There you go. It's the $99,000 storefront and one mobile home in Maquoketa, Iowa. I guess you could possibly maybe add a second mobile home to that property if you wanted that, but not a bad thing just on the surface. Again, you would need to make sure that there's any past gas tanks have been addressed, dealt with, all that sort of stuff. Again, a 45-year-old mobile home, going to have it's not worth anything. But it doesn't need anything done to it, right? That's another thing to consider. But not, I'm sure the shop's fine on the inside. It would be actually a pretty good a size for me. I'd like to be anywhere between 750 and 1,500 square feet. So having, what do we say here that the commercial property had? 840 square feet. That's not bad. That's not bad. So anyway, that's Realtor Recon for artist number 14 for Sunday, February 28, 2021. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned a little bit there, maybe about the Iowa Geographic Map Server and the historical aerial photos. Kind of a cool thing. And we'll talk to you later.